Okay, Coach, you've now had another week of practice, approaching game week this week. Just talk about the mood around the team that you've seen from the first couple weeks of fall practice.
I think right now we're getting to that point where we're ready to start playing, and stop playing against each other. I think we're chasing a little bit. I don't feel like I'm exactly where we want to be right now, so we're chasing a little bit to get ready for Thursday. But it's a good group. I think that we still need to improve in our defending a little bit, even though we have a lot of returners. I do think that we made some progress on sort of solidifying, who plays where for how long. We're a little bit more informed now, a week later than we were. So I feel good about that. Mines, we won't have any video, nothing to look at to see how they're different from last year and all the replacement players that they have. So that'll be a little bit of a challenge, but it will be for them too. So playing in the heat, I was glad to see that the weather changed again, getting a little bit hotter, so that's always good for us being outside and having these teams from Colorado come in. So excited for that. Saturday we have a ring ceremony at halftime of the football game, so we're excited for that as well. Playing against Oklahoma Baptist, Colorado School Mines, it'll be two tough games for us. I am glad that we're at home. That'll be a nice start, and then we'll have more information. We'll see where we're at. Right now, we think we know where we're at, but again, until you play that first opponent and then what they have and how that meshes with what you have, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
A big headline going into the season is replacing Amber Lockwood in goal. So tell us a little bit about your new starting goalkeeper and what's impressed you most about her and what the biggest differences are between her and Amber.
Yeah, well, this is Mel's fourth year actually. She's a redshirt junior. So she's seen everything that Amber's done and train with her every day and is trying to, the whole time she's trying to beat her out. And so she's trying to pick up on those things. And I could really notice it, I think, when I looked at the new goalkeeper that we picked up in Claire Stromer from Oklahoma Baptist, and just how much better Mel is right now with dealing with high balls and just some things that we kind of value with our program. And you could see that come through with her a little bit more. So good there. Mel's punts have gotten better. Right now, today, I think that Mel has the edge in who starts for us up front. In the back. She's a good leader. She's one of our captains in our leadership group. So, yeah, she's going to be a good goalkeeper for us. She's just got to work on that game environment and managing the game, which is different when you're on the side, managing and talking versus having everything go on and then still trying to communicate in that. So it'll be a great opportunity for her this weekend.
And overall, you have a pretty young roster this year, younger than last year's. But talk about your key returners and how great a job they've done helping acclimate these new players to playing at such a high level. Yeah,
I think in the back, I would have to say Mel and Harper and Tina are probably the core of that group in the defense that have been working on that. And then the midfield, I think a lot of it's been Abby James and then probably Sinai Stewart out wide. Abby's trying to work in the middle, and we're trying to get our transfer from Tarleton, Lexi Gonzalez, trying to get her to be more of a communicator. So last week I had a meeting with Lexi and Abby, and I just said, you guys need to be more dominant in there with conversation of what's happening, how we should be defending, how we should be attacking, that kind of thing. So, and then up front, have a little bit of a hiccup right now. We're dealing with an injury, set us back probably a couple weeks, so that's a little bit concerning. But we've got other players that will need to step in and make things happen. So that's just the way it goes in athletics. You can't just stop the games and say, hey, we're going to wait until everybody's good to go. So, but yeah, I think that I think there are some good leaders in there. We'll see how they do in the actual competition when our feet are to the fire and we've got to answer questions.
And to start the season, you mentioned earlier you faced Mines, your first home game. Just tell me what you hope to see from this matchup in this playoff rematch and what kind of matchup can we expect?
I think that defensively, again, that's going to be a key for us. Everything for us, in order to attack and do the things we want to do attacking-wise, we've got to win the ball back quickly. And so hopefully we're good at that. And if we are, then I think that Mines could be, a little bit frazzled in that first half. But it'll depend on how efficient and how intelligent we are in our defending. Mines always has good players. They get a lot of players from Texas. A lot of people are looking at a specific major of engineering going there. Mines obviously has a good reputation. I think we do too now. We're working on that. But Mines is a very good team, well coached. they'll be at the lower elevation, which will help them. They'll have to deal with the heat a little bit. The big thing for me was if they have the same kind of speed that they have last year, that's always going to be extremely difficult to handle. So we'll see how they show up on Thursday, and we'll try and make some adjustments as the game progresses.
Coach, I'll just add one more in here. You've talked about some of the leaders on this team. For the fans out there who might not know who some of the younger players are, who really stands out among the younger group that fans should just get excited to watch this year?
Well, I think that Madison Brzezickas, a sophomore, she had a good, fairly good freshman campaign, got her feet wet, really looking forward to seeing what she can add for us. Her speed and just how she's improved her decision making, some of the technical things that we've been working on. So as far as the freshmen, I'm going through my head here of who we have in the freshmen. I think probably the one that fans will be, I'm a little bit surprised about, and that's Carly Martinez, San Angelo Central girl. I watched her last year and the year before. I watched her all 4 years, but the last couple of years, I think she was not quite as influential in her team with Central. And so I was a little bit like, well, we'll see, maybe we can turn it around a little bit, new team, new opportunity. She's come in and been really solid. Defensively probably still needs a little bit more work, but attacking wise has confidence. And a lot of times in freshmen, they are trying to do exactly what we're telling them to do. And I think that for me, I don't know, it's different from my wife. My wife doesn't want to do exactly what I ask her to do, but the players always want to do exactly what we ask them to do. They don't leave a lot of room for negotiating, like gray area. And Carly is trying to be progressive in her approach to attack. And so that's really good. I'm excited about what she can possibly bring. So right now she's in a good spot looking into Thursday and Saturday.
And then you mentioned earlier that you had some question marks regarding your back line leading into this weekend. Is that more personnel questions? Is that schematically? How do you anticipate to answer the questions?
Schematically, man, that's like an SAT word. I feel like Brooks right now. I need that. Can you define that? Put it in a sentence. I don't think that our formation is going to be what the issue is. I think that, Ashlyn Vick last year kind of made herself the starting left defender. I think at the right defender right now, we've got a couple of different options. One would be a returner in Hannah Carrier. And then the other one might be a little bit of a surprise, which is Olivia Arus. And Olivia is a freshman. She's actually a converted attacking player. But she has so much pace. Right now, we just need to get her a little bit more defensive IQ increase. So tremendous speed, but like in our first scrimmage, I think it was against Hardin Simmons, she just went screaming at this player like with her speed, and the player just cut the ball and just watched her just run by. So I think she's improving, not going to make that mistake hopefully very often. But I think that Olivia has done a good job. I think that Hannah Carrier, continuing from last year, will be a good job. I think it may come down to a little bit of what's the matchup like. If it's just for speed, then maybe it's Hannah Carrier, or maybe the passing out of the back might be Hannah Carrier. If it's pure speed, I don't know. Actually, Olivia is pretty fast, definitely more physical. So we'll see what happens with what the matchup looks like. Right now, that is one position that I'm still not 100% certain on.
And then we already discussed mines on Thursday, and I know you have to worry about the first one for the second one. But Oklahoma Babs on Saturday, what do you anticipate from that matchup?
Honestly, I don't have any clue. The team that they had last year, Claire said that transfer from Oklahoma Baptist said that 11 of the girls were not in the team anymore, and so that's at least a third, if not close to half of the team. So I don't know what they'll be like, and I'm not going to be able to get film before then. I need to look and see. Harold's the one that actually does most of that scouting stuff, so we'll look and see. I don't know who they play on Thursday. I would assume someone on the way from, I don't even know where's, is that in Edmond?
Shawnee.
Just outside? Shawnee, okay. So, we'll see. I'm hoping that on Saturday we're just going to be focused on ourselves and trying to impose our will into them. So we'll see. I don't know exactly what they'll look like.
And to answer your question marks, it's UT Dallas that on Thursday.
UT Dallas, okay, yeah. So again, maybe give us a little bit of a heads up with some video if we can find it. But UT Dallas is brand new to the conference too, so that's a little bit of it might show us something, but I don't know how they play compared to everybody else. So we'll have to see.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks guys.